This video today, guys, is sponsored by Stimpaks.com. Go there to get some amazing beef jerky. They sent me some, and I ate it way too fast. Use the code Gibbs at checkout for 15% discount. Also, rando potato players, whoever wins gets 2 packs each, and they get to choose their flavors. So definitely come check that out. But thank you, Stimpaks.com, for the sponsorship, and let's get to the video. What's going on, guys? We are back with another prediction video. This one of the NBC Face It Universal Open 2v2 Rocket League Tournament presented by 7-Eleven and Brisk. I think I got all the names in there. There's a lot of names in this tournament, but let's go over some predictions. Now, I didn't watch every single game of the 2v2 because I'm not working it, and also it's 2v2, so it's like I'm mostly focused on 3v3 here, but you know, I watched a decent amount, and we're going to make these predictions relatively quick. I'm not going to try and prolong this whole bracket, so let's just get right into it. Let's start it off. First off, Cloud9 versus Double Trouble. So Casio, he couldn't make it for Class on Grass, so Tadpole replaces him, and now they're called Double Trouble with Ronicky. They've been on a tear lately. I think this could be a really good game versus Cloud9, which is Squishy and Gimmick. Now, Cloud9, their road relatively easy. Probably the easiest region, I would say, by far, of all the regions. I'm going to see which one they were again. I think they were... What are they? Central. They were Central. Really not too many teams here. Maybe one you would think would probably be maybe a little bit of a challenge would be Classics and Corrupted G, but it turned out that Bork and Savvy Seal played amazing. But Cloud9, honestly, wasn't really tested. They basically dominated this. They did have 1-3-2, but the other 2 games are 3-0, and that's also a rematch against Seoul Esports. So I think Cloud9's looking pretty good here. Now, both them and Double Trouble have that benefit of like, well, they're playing together all the time anyway. So we'll see if that matters later on with some of these other games, but I'm going to give it to Cloud9 here. I think Cloud9, just mechanically, just like, they're just absolute beasts, and I think they should be able to go pretty far in this tournament. We'll go 3-1 just for the fun of it. Next up, G2 and Complexity. So this one's interesting. Complexity was here last year. They got, what, second place? They made it to the finals. They were in the European regionals, and they lost to Girls 3-1 and then beat Fnatic 3-2 in that very close one where Snatsky's power went out and all that. And Complexity plays a very, like, I would say, like, safe 2v2 game and executes extremely well. That could be trouble for G2, who, honestly, they just kind of wing it. I feel like Garrett and JNAP's just kind of going up and winging it just a bit. They had a little bit of trouble in their region, but they did bounce back. I think the Complexity boys, of course, that's Mets and Magnus. This will be the last time that they play together under this name. I think their execution will probably make G2 a little bit worried. Like, JNAPS hasn't been playing all that great. Garrett's been playing pretty decent in the games I saw in the 2v2, but I think Complexity is going to pull this one out. I think it'll be a close set, but I think Complexity, just like how safe they play and just how well they execute, should be able to take down G2 here and get the win. Moving on. We got Girls versus Ghosts. All right, so one thing I want to mention with this bracket, I don't really understand why the bracket is this way. I get it. You want NA versus EU. And all the NA teams, obviously, all in different regions. So, like, that doesn't matter too much where they go. And I get that. That's perfectly reasonable. The only thing that should matter in this entire bracket is where the European teams are placed. There was 2 teams that came out of the uppers. 2 teams came out of the lowers. You would think you would put 1 upper and 1 lower together on one side of the bracket, 1 upper and 1 lower on the other side of the bracket to balance the bracket. For some reason, that's not how it is. Girls and Secret both finished on the upper side of their bracket for Europe. I have no idea why the bracket is this way, but hey, whatever. It doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, whatever. It's a double limb. You play it out. But that semifinal could matter a lot if those 2 European teams play, when they could have played maybe one of the weaker competition. Maybe they didn't want rematches, but then you kind of swap it. You would swap, like, Girls beat Complexity, so maybe you don't put Girls and Complexity on the same side of the bracket. You throw Double Trouble down there. But I don't know. I'm not sure exactly why they did this. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but hey, whatever. I'm not there, so whatever. All right, Girls versus Ghost. Scrub and Greasy looking super solid. Scrub, like, still showing up why he's one of the best players in the world, and now he'll be coming over to the RLCS. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. But Ghost, on the other side, left Mirror Memory, like, kind of trounced their entire region. They played extremely well. I'm trying to remember which one. I think it's East. Might be Northeast, actually. Let's see. Yeah, Northeast. So they took down FlyQuest pretty easily. And FlyQuest is not an easy team to beat. FlyQuest is really, really strong as well. Also in that whole regional was Fireburner and Torment, and they took them down as well. Well, they didn't actually play them, but, you know, they took them down in the sense of they didn't play them. So Ghost took down FlyQuest twice, 3-1, 3-1. I think Ghost is pretty solid here. I think this might be Girls' toughest match on this side of the bracket until the semifinals, or I guess the upper final. But I think Girls are too strong. I think they're going to come out and it kind of show why that they might be the best team here. So I'm going to go with 3-0. I'm just going to say Girls are going to come out really strong and get the win. Next up, Secret and Selfless. Two teams that changed their names for this tournament. First off, Freaky and Killer No coming in. Probably the surprise of the entire European regional. They just came out of nowhere and took the entire thing. They even took down the old Team Secret, like the actual Team Secret, with that had two Team Secret players. But Freaking and Killer No coming in, like, no one expects much from these guys. No one expected them to be here. Like, Freaky's got a chip on his shoulder since being kicked from Vitality. But he's performing. He's performing well. He gets the win just barely over Method, some 0-second heroics and the like. But there's something about these guys, you know? Like, this match is probably going to be one of the fun ones, because I think at the same time, Selfless is in that same exact scenario where, like, no one was really talking about that much. Dapper and Miho both right now are subs on different teams. Miho on G2, Dapper on Splice. Like, probably didn't expect them to make it out when there was Crow and Rizzo and Sizz and Jacob in their region. So I think this match could be pretty fun. I'm really excited to see what happens with this one. I'm trying to see who else was in the region with, what's their faces? With Selfless. Trying to just check real quick, and of course can't find it. It's US West, that's fine. Okay, US West. It was also like Evil Geniuses as well there. So all like starting players on good RLCS teams, and Momentum out of nowhere coming out, destroying them all, like performing really well. They almost got a sweep on EG in the final, but EG came back for a little while there. But Momentum looking strong. Looking strong. This one's tough for me. I wonder. I think I might give it to Dapper Miho, just less travel. Maybe that'll help him. The boys showed up yesterday, I think. I think all the European boys showed up on Wednesday. There's probably some media stuff going on. And so Thursday and Friday they have off, so that's fine. So that shouldn't matter much. But honestly, I think this one's kind of a coin toss. And for that reason alone, I'm just going with the team that had to travel less. So I'm going to go with Selfless for this one. Really no other reason. But I'm going to go with that. I think it'll be a very close game, but I'll take Selfless in that game. Next up, we'll do the upper bracket. We'll do Cloud9 Complexity. This one should be interesting. Like, I think, like, again, it depends how Complexity plays. They usually play a little bit safe against Cloud9. That might backfire just a bit because they are extremely fast. We'll see if Cloud9's speed can kind of mess up what Complexity is trying to do. I have a feeling Cloud9 is going to do really well in this tournament, and this is one of those many games, for many reasons why, I guess. I think they'll take down Complexity. I'm going to go 3-1 for this one. Then Girls versus Selfless. Again, I said, like, I think Ghost might be stronger than Selfless, but Girls got to play in the first round. I think Girls easily walk away with this win. Depends if Mio and Dapper can keep up that pressure, but I don't think it's going to be possible against Scrub and Greasy. I think Scrub and Greasy will take this. I'm going to go 3-1 there. All right, next up, we're going to go to the lower bracket. Double Trouble and G2. Double Trouble, we haven't seen these two play 2v2, obviously, like this group in this match. I think G2 might be just a little bit too strong for them, but Double Trouble's been on a tear. They've been on a tear. And on the opposite end, G2 has not been on a tear. But, of course, this isn't the normal G2. It's Garrett and J-Naps. I think they will come out with the win, but I think Double Trouble will put up a pretty big fight here. We'll go 3-2 for that one. And then Ghost and Secret. I kind of like Ghost. So I'm going to go 3-1 here. Like, I think Ghost is relatively strong. I think Secret is also strong. They won the entire European region. Well, there's two winners, but I just think Ghost will pull this one out and they'll move on. Maybe I'm a little NA biased here because we just knocked out two European teams, but that's what I'm going with. Moving on, we're going to go with Selfless and G2. Again, I'm not sold on Selfless. I think both Selfless and Secret I'm not completely sold on, but G2 also, like, they a little shaky. I do think, like, G2 is going to get better as this tournament goes on, same as what they did in their regional. I'm going to go G2 here. Again, pretty close set, but we'll go with that. And Selfless, the Cinderella story will die here as long with Secret as well, but as well with Secret. I can't talk today. Then Complexity and Ghost. This is a tough one. I'm going to go Complexity here. I think Complexity, again, they're just so sound. They're just so sound. I think they'll take this one. We'll see what Lethamere can do in some 1v1 plays, and Memory has been showing up pretty well, too. But I'm going to go Complexity. Moving on to the next one. We'll move over this thing. Whee! Here we go. We're getting to the final rounds here. So, Cloud9 versus Girls. We'll do that one first. We'll see who goes into the finals. I think this one's tough. I'm going to go Cloud9. I'm going to go Cloud9 here. It'll be a very close set. But we're going to go Cloud9 for now. We'll talk about that in a little bit. G2 and Complexity. I think Complexity, again, this is a rematch of the first round. I don't see this result changing. Maybe even more of a dominating performance. Why not? Just for the hell of it. We're going to go with it. Just tell me why I'm wrong in the comments below, by the way, because honestly, I think any of these teams could probably make a run and win it, but this is what I'm going with. Girls versus Complexity. Girls beat them in the regionals. I think they'll do it again here. It'll be very close. We'll go 3-2 because it's more fun. So there you go. And now Girls versus Cloud9 for the grand finals, and there will be a bracket reset. Well, possibility, I believe. It doesn't technically say in the rules, but they were doing it at all the other regionals, so I assume it's the same here. First set, it's best of 7. I'm going to go 4-2 Girls, and now we'll talk about them a little bit. Cloud9 versus Girls. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. I had to reload there for a second. Cloud9 versus Girls. At some point, North America has to win something. At some point. And Cloud9's been on a tear, like no other. They're the best North American team right now. Obviously, this is 2v2. It's a little different. But I think there might be somewhat of an advantage of, probably Scrub and Greasy are getting a little bit less practice time in just because they have to focus on their teams. Cloud9, they also have to focus on the team, but at least they're still playing together. And then they probably have some time when Torment's off to do 2v2s. I think it'll be a little bit easier to get practice in. I'm going to go Cloud9 for that reason. I just wanted the bracket reset to make it close. But I think Cloud9 will take this in the end. It'll be close, but they'll take it. There we go. There's the final bracket. So, we got Cloud9, number 1. Girls, number 2. Then we got Complexity, number 3. G2, number 4. Selfless, number 5. Which you can't see anymore. Ghost, number 5 as well. And then we got Secret and Double Trouble to round it out. That is my bracket, guys. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong on Monday. That's always the best time when people are like, you got it wrong. It's like, guys, it's a prediction video. It's not supposed to be 100% correct. That's not what we're going for here. But my gnarly one was pretty close. Only one match off. The entire bracket. One match off. But that'll do it for me, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Who you think's going to win. If you saw more 2v2 than I did, which you probably did, because there was a lot of streams of it. I tried to watch as much as I could, but I didn't get to see everything. Let me know what you think of some of these guys. I would love to see it in the comments below. But that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. And go watch the Universal Open. It's on Saturday and Sunday. Let me check the time. I don't actually know what time it starts. See if it says it on Wikipedia. It probably doesn't. I don't think it does, but it starts sometime on Saturday and Sunday. I would assume kind of early because it's going to be a lot of games to play. So go check it out and go root on my caster boys and all the players, of course. And that'll do it for me. We'll see you next time. Bye.